Welcome back.
It's called the AoT Chronicles.
Alright, redo. Start it over. Just tell me when.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the AoT Chronicles, an Attack on Titan podcast. I'm your host, Chad.
Me llamo Rani.
Okay, mi amo Rami. Ronnie. Okay. So we've got Season 1, Episode 24 today. What did you think about this one?
This was, it was a good episode. I'm interested to see how much we actually have to say about it. I don't know how much meat there is as much as it was just fun to watch on a entertainment standpoint.
Yeah, it was, and it's called Mercy Raid on Stohess, District 2, Part 2. But yeah, it's really entertaining, especially the ending. Let's just get right into it.
Let's do it.
So we start off in a presumable flashback, okay, because the last thing we saw was Annie transforming. You know, they tried to jump on her, stop her, but she got away with it. She transformed. Mikasa ran off with Eren and Armin. But now we're in a presumable flashback to, I guess, like the abandoned castle type thing.
Right, yeah, kind of where Eren had to clean his room again because Levi got mad at him.
Yeah. But yeah, we got Levi and Eren there. They're waiting. They're waiting on Erwin to come back, and Levi's like, look, if Erwin's not back, the military police escorts might come before he does. So it is a flashback now because we know that Eren was being escorted when Annie transformed.
Right.
Levi then assumes that Erwin is constipated and just having a rough day.
Levi loves talking about poop. It's unbelievable.
He does, and bowel systems.
He was saying this about Hanji just the other episode, that she was probably taking a long poo.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how Hanji's taking a long one and how Erwin just can't even poo. I don't know how he knows this.
He's just an interesting guy, clean freak, but yet he loves delving into others' fecal matter.
Well, I think this is actually where Erwin was, though. I think he was constipated.
I mean, hey, I'm not saying that he was wrong on either account, but have some modesty. Jeez, Levi.
Eren's even like, Levi, why are you talking so much? This isn't like you.
I know. And to which Levi replies with, who says I'm talking to you, as we pan out on the room, and there are literally just those two in the room. Which I know how he feels. I feel this way a lot of times. I think that sometimes you think I'm talking to you when we record this podcast, but I'm actually not.
Who are you talking to?
Thank you for thinking I wasn't talking. In that case,
Okay.
I was talking to you. But
Okay.
if we could have more of that in this podcast relationship, I would really appreciate it.
Well, hey, Ronnie. Levi always talks a lot, okay? That's what he replies with.
You talking to me?
Talks a lot. I'm talking to you, Ronnie.
All right, let's just assume we're talking to each other for
I guess
next...
for the next episode or so, we'll assume we're talking to each other. But Levi always talks a lot, okay?
Yeah, man of many words. He never mumbles anything under his breath.
Eren then just keeps regretting his decision of not going Titan mode when Annie ended up wrecking Levi's entire squad. And Levi's like, look, I told you, dude.
I don't think we mentioned it last episode. The animation of Annie entering her Titan is awesome. How she's like
so good.
She's like riding it or something like that, and then it just encloses around her.
And she
really,
has that
really cool.
like just death look on her face.
Oh yeah,
just beautiful. But Levi's like, look, Eren, I told you, no one knows how it will turn out. You made a choice. You got to deal with it. Erwin and crew then finally show up. And they say that they think they've identified the female Titan. So this is, I'm assuming, the night before. I don't think it really says.
Yeah, just sometime once they got... I don't really know the time of events. That makes sense that they... Because everything happens pretty quick. They literally left the gates perhaps yesterday morning and came back last night.
Yeah.
So that quickly they figured it out.
So yeah, I guess this is pretty much the night before Annie transforming in the middle of the city. But yeah, he explains the mission in Stohess, and he's like, we're going to stake everything on this. This is going to be our first and last chance. But he still hasn't said who he's identified yet. Then he goes, we're going to lead this person deep underground without them knowing that's where they're going. And this person just so happens to be a part of the military police.
Yes, this is the same thinking of when they put Eren deep in the well. The idea is, you got them underground or somewhere where they can't expand. I guess they just get stuck down there because they transform into the ground. What we've got going on right now is a very quiet page turn. He tried to slip it by me. I didn't allow it.
I don't know. Were you talking to me, Ron?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're presuming that we're talking to each other. So, but yeah, I guess that is the case. If you go deep enough underground, they're kind of just trapped there. They can't really get their way out.
Makes sense.
Erwin says, Eren, this is a chick from the 104th. And Eren then goes, wait, you don't mean? And then that's when we get a sick transition into Annie. Then the transformation you were talking about, her transforming.
It was so cool. I got ahead of myself in the podcast.
Yeah. I guess they didn't show it last episode.
I was trying to remember because I felt like if they did, I would have noticed it. I kind of think that they just showed her cutting herself and then it was just a lightning explosion. I could be wrong, but the fact that neither one of us mentioned it as cool as it is, I'm thinking they did not show that last episode.
I just know this transition from Erwin saying that and Eren thinking, and then all of a sudden we get Annie just transforming is beautiful.
It's one thing the show always does really, really well is transitioning from one scene to another with someone talking in the background.
Yeah, so we got her transforming, we got the loud boom, and then we've got several people that were on top of her just dead. Just straight up dead. That was pretty crazy to me because I feel like it was at least close to 10 people trying to get to her.
Yeah, I mean, because Armin shot that flare last episode, and they were on her quick before she could even bite herself, so there were definitely a bunch of people restraining her. And kaboom.
Boom.
Luckily, Mikasa, she was aware of what was going on. She got Armin and Eren to safety because they were real close as well.
Yeah, so they're deep underground, or I guess pretty deep underground now, and Armin then is explaining, he's like, we're just going to have to switch to plan B. We fucked it up.
Plan A didn't happen at all.
Yeah. He's like, we're screwed. Right when he says that, they run into a couple of random...
whoa. Not random. They specifically said this is Squad 3. And I don't like you talking down on Squad 3. They're definitely a top 25 squad of mine.
Well,
respect them.
To me, they're kind of random. I'm more of a Squad 2 guy, but
Squad
whatever.
3?
Well, Squad 3, random or not, they get stomped to dust by Annie right when they meet him.
But Eren was a big Squad 3 fan too because he literally just watched a foot stomp these guys, not to mention the concrete ceiling that just collapsed on top of them, and yet his reaction is, we gotta help him. Hey, Eren, a little too late, buddy. I think what's done is done.
Eren is not the brightest at all. He needs Armin so bad. It's unbelievable. But yeah, they get crushed to dust pretty much. And Armin, they run off. They kind of get away from her foot. And Armin's like, look, if Annie is this desperate, she's willing to do anything at this point. We got to be careful. Because she's going after him. She doesn't care at this point.
Which starts the long happening plot of Eren not being able to get there. But once again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Keep going.
So yeah, we're there now though, where Eren's like, well, look, I've got a plan now. And then he just chomps on his hand and nothing happens.
Brutal. He's done this before, but this is by far the worst. And the worst part about it is he kind of knows how it works now. When he was in the well, he thought he lost it. Hanji straight up told him he's got to have a clear focus in mind. I feel like he's just so of the moment. He's just mad. He's not thinking of what he's trying to do. He's just like, I'm saving Mikasa, but I want to talk to Annie, but I want to stop it. He's just
his absolutely favorite squad just got crushed. This guy can't think straight.
Squad 3.
But yeah, he can't transform, and he's losing his shit. I mean, he is just he just keeps chomping. It's like you would think after about the 5th bite, we'd be like, okay, I can't transform. But
I can't even imagine how hard I would have to bite my hand to do that. And the fact that he just keeps going at it, it's very unsettling.
Well, look, we make fun of this guy for what he says. He's going to kill all the Titans. He's got a bunch of willpower and all this stuff. But,
has he ever said that?
well, I think I've heard it. I've heard it once, I think.
Okay, all right.
Our girl, Catherine. Catherine told us.
Yes, Catherine did. We couldn't find it on the web. She did pull that information for us. Shout out to her.
But yeah, I will say, though, he has a ton of willpower. As much as we make fun of him, the guy is dedicated to, I guess, just saving his friends. That's pretty much it. But Mikasa calls out Eren, and she's like, look, what's holding you back? Do you have, like, slight feelings towards her still? Do you still look at her as your squad mate? She's giving him that creepy look. And you're just like...
Yeah. Mikasa, just like us, she doesn't get it. She's saying, hey man, she's bad. Like, she's killed a lot of our people, and for some reason, Eren just can't stop thinking about all the great times they had. Like that one time she kicked his ass, and therefore showed him a good fighting move. And also that time where, well, no wait, that was kind of the only moment they shared. Get over it, Eren.
I think I've got a good idea of why Eren doesn't want to get rid of her.
You gonna share or keep that to yourself?
I'll keep it to myself for now, but I'll expand on it here in a second.
All right.
But then we go to a flashback, though. Okay? It's to the night before again, and Armin is explaining to Eren. He's with Erwin and them, and he's like, look, Annie is the female Titan. We've pretty much narrowed it down to her. We think it's her. She used Marco's gear. He's explaining everything that she did and why he thinks she's the female Titan.
Just big shocker. Who's going to figure this out? Armin. Who would have thought?
And it's just crazy because Eren just still does not want to accept it. But Mikasa then calls out that bitch Annie for looking. She just straight up goes, she also looks like the female Titan.
That's so great that you said that, because my notes literally say, turns out Mikasa hates that bitch Annie.
I mean, she saw Annie full mount Eren in training, and she's like, oh, hell no.
She was like, that Titan's got the same ginormous nose that makes her extremely unattractive to anyone who sees her.
I'm glad she pointed that out, though, because the more you think about it, she does look extremely similar to the female Titan. And no one has tried to mention that yet.
Yeah, Annie just always wears her hair up in like a ponytail or something, so
yeah,
the hair kind of throws you when you first see the female Titan, but they definitely have the same nose.
Mikasa then asks Eren in the flashback too if, now that he knows they suspect her, if it rings any bells. Like, say, going hand-to-hand combat with her. You know, you fought her, Eren.
That one memory you guys made together.
All y'all have ever done is fight, and then you fought her. Does it ring any bells?
And the Titan fought the same exact way.
And then he remembers that crushing kick to his noggin that just swiped clean his head off.
And a tree. And his hand.
Wait a minute. Kinda did seem like Annie.
He's like, something's ringing a bell, but I can't put my finger on it.
We then transition back into his bloodied up hand, and Mikasa's still giving him that stank face, okay? She is still giving him that devil look, and she is so jealous, it's unbelievable. She's like, look, you know she's the female Titan. Let's fight, or are feelings holding you back? It's weird to me how he has feelings for her, but...
I just can't get past all the good times we had.
Did you see when she threw me down and then sat on top of me? Armin then interrupts the couple. Well, sorry, not the couple, but Eren and Mikasa, and says that he and Mikasa will escape. They'll run opposite directions, and while they do that, Eren can then get away while she at least goes after one of them. So, while asking Mikasa starts to run off. He asks her how they can fight. She pulls out the best quote in the show.
I've got it in my notes because I know you love this.
We're going to go ahead and do a segment, okay?
Oh.
Chaz's quote of the day.
Wow, you got a new segment,
We got a new segment.
I love it.
We're going with Chaz's quote of the day, and it says, "We don't have a choice. The world is cruel."
Yeah, the peek behind the curtain for the listeners at home. I believe it's episode 6 when it shows Mikasa and Eren's backstory of how they kind of first came to be. Chaz got a little too high and just couldn't stop talking about how much he loved that they said the world was a cruel place.
It's a beautiful quote, dude. It just reminds me of my life and how the world has been so cruel to me when I was a kid.
You live in a penthouse in the middle of the city. What are you talking about?
My mom would get me non-frosted Pop Tarts.
Your mom's right here, right now. She's a very nice lady.
She's also got her nose in the corner, just sitting there.
Too nice. I still don't understand why she's got to be in the corner for every single one of our podcasts.
Because she got me non-frosted Pop Tarts my entire life.
So you just bring her everywhere you go for punishment?
Yeah, pretty much.
Let us know what your favorite Pop Tart is. Thepodcastchronicles at gmail.com.
It was strawberry non-frosted too, but let's get back to the episode.
Mrs. Chaz, I remember going over to your house. I thought the non-frosted Pop-Tarts were fine and reasonable.
Well, that's because you brought over your own frosting.
No one needs that sugar in the morning.
Whatever. In that moment, though, when she says the beautiful quote, Chaz's quote of the day, boom, Eren just gets wrecked. All the concrete just falls on top of him. It's not a full stomp on him, so he's not dead or anything, but
he didn't meet
wrecked.
The same fate as Squad 3 RIP. Yeah. Top 25 squad.
They should have helped Squad 3. That's all I'm saying. But we then go to the calling card. Stuff we already know about Walsina. Okay?
Alright. Lay it on me right after that page turn.
Page turn. Yeah, we don't even need to talk about it because we already know it.
Alright. Moving on.
Mikasa attacks Annie, okay? She runs out of the tunnel. She starts zooming after Annie. And she has a sick little Achilles cut.
Right.
And I always love those. I love when they go low. And
it always makes me very uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
I think about my Achilles and ugh.
Fortunately enough, I've never gotten injured like that. I've had a great childhood.
No one's ever knifed your Achilles?
No one's ever knifed my Achilles, no.
Did you say you have a great childhood?
Huh?
What? Whatever, keep going. I feel like you're...
Well, Eren is crushed. Eren is, he's messed up.
Sometimes I feel like you're two different people.
That's uncalled for. Shut up, Mom. Okay. So she fends off Mikasa, and then heads towards the inner police. Okay? There's these inner police people who think they have a chance of fighting off the female Titan.
Bless them.
We then have an awesome Erwin scene, okay? We've got Doofus, military police squad guy. What's his name again? Do you know it?
Doofus, military squad police guy. His name is the leader.
Yeah.
Oh, I know it. Oh, people are gonna kill us. It's in my notes for next episode.
Is it Keith?
Nope. It's
I can't think of it.
Just keep talking. Tell a story. People are gonna get mad if we don't get this right.
Right,
tell
story.
a story. Nile.
Yes. I like to refer to him as Doofus, but Nile will work too. So Nile is talking with Erwin, and he's just not a smart guy. He has no idea what's going on. Obviously, Erwin didn't let him in on what was going on, but Jean jumps out of he's still acting like he's Eren.
Oh, I love this.
In the carrier. He jumps out, takes off the wig.
How bamboozled is this one guy when Jean takes off the wig for the big reveal? This guy makes it seem like he knew Eren or Jean. He's like, what? No way.
He's seen Eren once in his life, and he's thinks he's best buds with him.
What?
Knows what he looks like.
You've been that the whole time?
As Jean gets ready to zoom off and fight these people,
and
too.
The best part, too, is all Jean does to reveal his true identity is, his hair is, when he takes off the wig, it's, 2 stages lighter than what he...
a little tiny bit shorter. It's nothing different, really, at all.
They go, wait, what? What a disguise!
Levi then talks to Jean as Jean's ready to go fight, or at least go help his squad mates. Levi's like, wow, somebody actually does have balls. And I just love Levi. Anytime he makes a comment like that, it gets me all riled up, okay?
Yeah, anytime he leaves out the toilet humor and just talks smack about someone, I'm really all about it.
Well, I like the toilet humor too, but I know you have toilet problems yourself. That's why you don't really like it. But,
I struggle in the department. I just like it better when he leaves it out of my show.
Well, why were you in the bathroom for 45 minutes earlier? Okay. But we've got military police guy. He's absolutely the guy that you were talking about. He's just straight up bamboozled. He's bamboozled by everyone at this point. Niall then decides, you know what? Let's draw our weapons. So everyone draws their weapons. They aim it right at Erwin.
Oh, but does he care?
No. Erwin's got the same look on his face, like always. He knows he's the GOAT of the show, and nothing's going to faze him. Levi then absolutely roasts the guy. And, I mean, Levi's just awesome. He's just always with these side remarks. He's just calling him dumb. He's like, do you even know what you're doing right now? And then we cut away from that. We get away from the non-foolery or whatever you want to call it, and we go over to the citizens inside the wall. I forgot that there's just a bunch of citizens in here at this point.
That just, like, hang clothes to dry?
Yeah, they're just hanging clothes to dry, making bread. I don't know what these people do. They're all in a panic, and, I mean, a lot of them are getting wrecked. Just by Annie just swiping by and running by, they're getting wrecked. And
they never had a shot. Never.
Yeah, they never had a shot.
Never had a shot.
I mean, could you imagine if you were just like a 55-year-old woman that all she does is do laundry, and then you're having to fight the female Titan? Like,
next thing you know, there's a 15-meter Titan running down.
Yeah, the Survey Corps, they're trying to fend her off.
It's like a random Tuesday afternoon. She's never seen one before.
Never seen one. She thinks since she's in the inner wall, nothing bad will ever happen to her. Mikasa then swoops in. Of course, badass Mikasa. And, I'm sorry, I think she slices the Achilles this time.
Oh, did you get ahead of yourself?
I got ahead of myself. Last time, I take back everything I said. She didn't slice the Achilles last time. She sliced up some of her, like, shoulder or something.
Okay.
She didn't do much to it last time. She gets a good Achilles shot in, and then we go over to Jean. He's flying in to see Armin. He sees Armin talking to a crushed-up Eren sandwich in the corner.
It's a good way to describe it.
Armin is like, Eren's hurt.
Excellent diagnosis.
Jean, the hero that we all deserve and we all love, tells Eren that he's counting on him. And then he goes, and Marco.
Yeah, this is some great John stuff. This is like, he can see that Eren's not dead, so he's just pissed. He's like, this is the exact moment I told you about when I said we were really going to need your help and for you to come through because we were all counting on you. And now it's that time and you're laying in rubble.
Yeah.
Tighten up, bitch.
Oh, it's just so upsetting. And then when he mentions Marco, good guy Marco. I mean, has Marco ever done anything wrong in his life?
Best bro, Marco.
Best bro, good guy.
The only thing he's ever done is he won't be hard on you when you deserve it. He sees too much of the good in people.
Bless his heart, man. That's all I have to say. Bless Marco's heart.
RIP!
Eren still won't turn, and he's just sitting there, just, I guess, loving all the rubble on top of him. And then Armin comes up with a candidate for Chaz's quote of the day.
Didn't quite make the cut, but here it is.
Didn't make the cut because he didn't use the word cruel in it, but it said, someone who can't sacrifice anything can never change anything. To defeat these monsters, you have to put aside your humanity. Awesome. Great quote.
Second place.
Second place. But just not quite enough for Chad's quote of the day. We then have Armin. Right after he says that, he zooms off and he's heading towards Annie. He gets somewhat near and then he just yells at her and says, Annie, if you don't kill me this time, how is anything going to change? And she then charges right at him and Jean. We go over to...
And to be fair, Armin is pretty cool in this situation. He kind of zips off. He's not losing his mind like old Armin would.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like the fact that Eren is so immobile right now and he's pretty much useless. It's like Armin was like, all right, I've got to take his spot and kind of try to lead and maybe put up a fight. We know he can't really fight, but it's almost like he knows how dire the situation is, and without Eren, he's got to do something. We then go over to my sexy wife, just Hanji.
Yeah, hey Chaz, come get your girlfriend. Looney Tunes.
She's having a straight up orgasm.
Good God.
Waiting to just torture this Titan. She's sitting in the corner with the torture grapplers, whatever you want to call it. I don't even remember what they're called. I like torture grapplers.
It's a pretty cool name.
And John and Armin lead her right into the trap. And she falls for it again. And my girl Hanji gives them the go. And the torture grapplers shred her into her skin.
Yep.
Hanji then puts the sword up to Annie's eye. And
way
says,
too close to her.
Yeah. I mean, she's...
You think she would have learned with Sonny and Bean when one of them almost chomped her off. She's way too close, and Annie's not that restricted.
Hanji's feeling herself. She wants to get up close and personal to this thing.
Almost literally from the sounds of it.
Have you seen the backside of Annie? That's all I'm saying. Titan Annie, not normal Annie. She gets the sword right at her eye, and she says that she'll be the one to devour her this time.
And I believe her.
Yeah. She is on one right now. She kind of messed up, though, because her saying that made Annie lose her shit and just kick everything to the side in one swoop. She jumps up, starts running off, and then we cue the badass music, okay? We got the orchestra music coming in.
Right.
You know something good's about to happen.
Uh-huh.
We go over to Eren now with the badass music still playing, and he's still just laying there. And he starts thinking of Levi's squad dying, his mom getting eaten by the Titan, and he then says, I will wipe them all. No, I will kill them all.
Ooh.
Who do you think he's talking about in this situation?
I'm gonna have to go with who are the Titans?
That is correct.
All right. Thanks.
200 points for Ronnie.
Thanks, Alec. Glad to be here.
He then says, the world is cruel.
Oh my God. And at this point, Chad just got up and started hoorahing.
I got up, I did a few jumping jacks, threw my hands in the air.
You told me to stand up because you wanted to chest bump me. I was like, dude, calm down. All they said was the world was cruel. What?
And then we have a top 5 anime transformation of all time.
This is really, it's so cool. How do you even explain it? Trying to sneak a page turn in there right at the end of the episode.
Well, there's something cool that I have to say.
Just didn't have quite enough room on that last page. You turn the page, I can see it from here. There's one line of written words.
So we got the badass transformation, and right when he does that scream and the lightning hits, it goes over to Erwin sitting there staring off, and that is why it's a top 5 transformation, because we have the GOAT Erwin Smith staring off, knowing what's about to happen, and then we have Eren charging at her and then just wrecking her with a right haymaker to the face.
So I don't blame you for missing this part, but it was my favorite part of the episode because I didn't understand how it happened. We get the intensity, and some of you are not going to believe me. Go back and watch, okay? Because I had to go back and watch it a few different times. When Eren does this epic transformation, the music is playing. We cut to a couple different shots.
Yep.
One of these shots is of a cat on a staircase in the fetal position. It was very strange. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't point it out.
You are right. I did notice it. I just forgot to write it in my notes. But I think it added a great layer to the transformation.
Like, wow, this cat's pretty worried. He hears a lot going on, you know?
Oh, that was awesome.
Top 5 anime transformation of all time, cat in a fetal position.
And I love, too, how when Eren hits her, she just goes flying into the, I guess, wall church is what you want to call it. Whatever it is, it's like a religious thing that she goes flying into, and then we have Mikasa saying, Eren, and everyone else just looking, and then he starts charging, and that's where we end it.
End of episode. We did pretty good there. I didn't know how much we were going to have to say. That's a nice, good length. You ready to get into some feedback? Because that's what we do now.
Oh, wow, let's get into it.
So,
You don't let me look at this stuff. You don't trust me with the passwords, is what you say. So I'd love to hear it.
yeah, I don't trust. I'm afraid that Chad would get too inappropriate to all of our fellow listeners. So I kind of am the buffer between any feedback we get and Chad's. I let him know about it, and he always has, he has a word or a chance to respond. But I kind of police that just because I don't want him to get us canceled before we even get through season 1. But today we've got our guy Sean S. from California. He sent us very nice message saying he likes the show, and then he brought up a couple of different things. He said, "Can you do a segment where you tell a little bit about yourself and what other animes are your favorite?" You're our resident anime guy, so we'll go ahead and tackle that first. I'll give you like a minute or two here to just go crazy on this.
Go crazy on this. All right. My other favorite animes. All right, I'll talk a little bit about it. I'm not going to go too in depth. I don't want to bore everybody. But...
Yeah, we can go piece by piece, but just give them a broad overview. Right. If people have extra questions, they can ask you about it.
One of my top ones is Hunter x Hunter. Of course, I love the Chimera Ant arc.
Oh my god, that's how you're going to start this off, huh?
Gon versus Pito. We all know how badass that is. The King Kamugi. I mean, come on.
I thought you were going to blow through this, and now you're talking about one specific arc from one specific anime.
Well, let's go arc by arc.
Will you keep it moving?
All right, I'll just say I shed a few tears when the King and Kamugi. I don't want to spoil anything. I cried my eyes out. All right, we got that. I'll go Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night. Those are two really good ones. I haven't seen the other Fate stuff. If you have, please let me know if they're any good. I would love to know, and I'd love to watch. Steins Gate, another great one. I recommend that to you, Ronnie. You know what?
Okay.
Steins Gate is an absolute terrific one.
Hey, Attack on Titan's not going to last forever. We're going to need something else, so people start sending in suggestions now.
And then this one is just... I wouldn't say it's my favorite, and I wouldn't say it's even close to my least favorite, but I got to go with JoJo's, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a Joe bro.
You talking about JoJo's all the time.
So many memes, so many like references. Is this a JoJo reference? Is this podcast a JoJo reference?
I think this podcast is one large JoJo reference.
And I got it. My favorite JoJo, and it should be your favorite JoJo too, is Joseph Joestar. If it's not, you know what? Don't even respond to this podcast. But yeah, I'll stop there. I don't want to get too in depth. But
all right, because there's more. Trust me, there's more. I hear about them. If you guys want to have any follow-ups for Chaz, just let him know. As far as me, I said it early on. Listen, anime is not typically my thing. That's why the fact that I like this show as much as I do really took me by surprise. I will say I do really like Hunter x Hunter, and I also... The first anime I ever saw was Death Note, and I enjoy it a lot too. So now... We're going to get into this. I don't know if people actually want this other than Sean, because we're,
Internet,
we're just two guys. But a little bit about ourselves. I had a very specific way I want to do this, so I'll just start, and you can kind of think while I'm talking.
Okay.
So I think we'll just do like a little fun fact every episode about it. So here's the segment. Do you want to explain the segment to the people? It's kind of difficult to grasp.
What am I explaining?
So the segment is called Learn a Little Bit About Ronnie and Chad. Would you like to explain it?
Okay, so in this segment, what we're going to do is kind of help you learn a little bit about Ronnie and Chad.
Perfect, okay. I think people get it now.
Yeah.
So Ronnie speaking here. When everyone knows the hit classic tune by Maroon 5, She Will Be Loved... When I was a young lad, I would guess probably about 7, my parents gave me a Kids Bop album. It had to be one of the ones before 5. Kids Bop really kind of dropped off once it got to album 7. I, for the longest time of my life, thought that when it said beauty queen of only 18, she had some trouble with herself. I've gone the last, I'm 17 now, so I've gone the last 19 years thinking that it said sheep.
Wow.
And
you
so
really thought that?
Yeah, I thought that. And it always takes for that one lunch at O'Charlie's to hear the song come on, and you hadn't heard it in 5 years, and then you realize, wow, he actually says she, not sheep.
And then your mom had to explain it to you, right?
Well,
what a sheep was?
I had to look up the lyrics because I couldn't believe my ears. And then I realized, yeah, that makes a whole lot more sense than if he had said sheep.
Yeah, wow, that is just so interesting. I'm so glad you said that.
So that's a little bit about Ronnie. I thought that was a really great place to start. Do you have anything, Chaz?
Well, if you're going to go back that far, I'll go back all the way to me in 3rd grade. Actually, I think it was 2nd, now that I think about it. I don't know if you ever heard of this show. It was a really famous show back in the day, American Idol.
Okay, I'm familiar with it, yeah.
Okay. Well, I was just a huge Ruben Studdard guy, okay?
Rube, yeah.
Ruben Studdard versus Clay Aiken, okay? I was a huge Ruben man.
Battle for the ages.
Absolute battle for the ages. I was approximately 7 years old. Me and my mom loved the show, loved the singing. I used to try to sing like Ruben in the shower. So when he won, I cried for at least an hour.
How old were you?
I was 7 years old, dude. I was in 2nd grade. I was so happy.
Good for Ruben, man.
Good for Ruben. And then Clay came out with Invincible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Invisible.
Yeah.
A year later, and
great track.
And then I cried for Clay because I was like, well, this dude just lost, and he just came out with a great hit.
Yeah, good for him.
And that
heartwarming story.
You're well. I figured I'd start when I was 7 or 8. I might even move up the ladder.
Yeah, we'll do this a few more times. Let us know if you enjoy it or if you just really, really hate it. I think I would understand either way. Sean, thanks for the suggestion there.
Yeah, if you want us to talk more in depth about other things personally, shoot us what. We figured this is the most important stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we figured when you were looking for an Attack on Titan podcast, you weren't just looking for an Attack on Titan podcast. You probably wanted to know facts about 2 random guys, and I think we nailed it this go-round.
Hey, and also, going back to the anime thing, please shoot us suggestions of what shows we should do next.
God, you're like a broken record player. I just said that, Chaz.
I know, and I'm repeating it because it can be something I've seen or it can be something I haven't seen. And I'll tell you what I've seen and what I haven't seen.
Well, I think that concludes another successful segment of Learn a Little Bit About Ronnie and Chaz.
The world!
We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Ronnie.
And I'm Chazzy.
Peace.
Peace.